particular image in mind here as well, going on. But apart from that, no, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be good fun.
Cole
Awesome.
can't sit still. She's going nuts.
I know, she's going crazy. Cole, you must be super excited for this tournament. What's your thoughts? You're
Yeah.
fairly new admin, so.
I am so excited! Like, so excited.
I'm
You have
gonna
no
jump on
idea.
top of this.
So, it's because you fail. I like.
And just-
Anyway, so excited.
She's so excited, she said excited 6 times, everybody. I counted it. 1, 2, 3, 4. If there was an excited administrator, she would draft him. That's how excited she is. So,
Yep.
all right, guys. So I see a lot of you guys. You guys have tuned in. We got about 14 people already showed up. We just got started here, which is awesome to see. But let me give you kind of the rundown, guys, of the tournament. If you haven't read it already, basically the tournament's going to work this way. We were going originally to do 16 administrative teams. However, we have reduced that now to 8 based on availability of some of the admins, as well as also some people not wanting to participate. So we've reduced that number to 8 now. And Shadow, why don't you go over the details a little bit relative to, what are the rules of the tournament and what are people looking for as far as the specific details of how this tournament's going to be ran? Shadow?
Hang on a second. I was on mute.
I was going to be like, what? Where are you?
Freaking crazy. Yeah, excited. Hang on a second. Let me just load this up. I will say as well that there are questions that myself and Stevie will go over in terms of running the teams and things like that. But in the basics, as Stevie's just said, there are going to be 8 teams, so there'll be 4 from the UAUS side, 4 from the NA side, and each team is going to have 2 administrators on each team, and then 4 members that can sign up. What is going to happen at the moment is there might be some administrators that are staying active in the tournament that maybe aren't drafted in the final 8 per UAUS and per NA. If there's any admins still wishing to be part of the tournament, they can then pick which tournament team they would like to join. So even though they might not have been drafted, which they might see as a negative, the positive thing is they can then hand pick which team they join, which I think is a massive positive. No mentions there on who's picking who again. As it says there, the draft's going to be live, and Stevie will go over the order of that. It's going to be, I think it'll be a 4-round tournament, is there? A 3-round tournament, Stevie?
Yeah, so it goes first round. Yeah, first round's going to be 8 guys. The second round is going to be 4 teams left, and then the third round is going to be the final. So 8-4-2. Yeah, so very similar setup as the PvE tournament that we did for the Speed Raid tournament. Guys, how it's going to be set up is the first round overall is going to be Crucible Control. So how it works is you're going to have basically two administrators on your team. The remaining 4 slots is going to be a first come, first serve joining process, just like the PvE tournament in the past. So that's how we're going to have it set up, and we're going to go from there. So
okay. So as Stevie's just said there, members will be able to sign up first come, first served, and the first round is going to be control, and you can correct me here if I'm wrong, Stevie. The semi-final will be clash,
yes,
and the final will then be control again. The rounds will run from, I think it's going to be, the first round is going to be August the 3rd to August the 9th. We're going to finish a week early here, so August the 3rd to August the 9th. Again, learning from the last tournament, and again, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Stevie, but there will be no exceptions to the times. You have a week to do your run. You must do your run within that week. no exceptions this time. I think we're staying quite rigid in that one this time, Stevie.
Yeah, no doubt. You guys know the time frames ahead of times for the weeks. If you see the way the weeks are set up as a member, and you can't attend those particular time frames for whatever reason that entire week, I recommend you not signing up for it. You're going to let your team down. There's not going to be something where you're going to sit there and get a sub or something. Once those teams are set, those teams are set. So just make sure you're available pretty much all the month of August, but you don't need to be, available the entire month of August, just a couple of days in between, and let your team know those are the days that you'd be able to participate if you join the team. So just when you see the two administrators within that team before you sign up with them, tell them your availability, and that admin will say, yeah, join, that should be fine, or that's too limited for us. Unfortunately, that's not going to work. So just keep the open communication with whoever's running those teams. We also have mercy. We also have mercy rules. You want to go through that, Shadow?
Yeah, I'll just quickly finish the dates and give a little point for the admins before going to the mercies. The dates are, you've got the 7 days to do your run. Some of the dates may change due to unforeseen circumstances, although we don't anticipate that, but you will have 7 days and 7 days only to do your run. So the second round, the semi-final on Clash will be from the 10th of August to the 16th, and then the final, you'll have a week between the 17th to the 23rd of August to do your run. And I know Stevie was mentioning the members there about signing up and making sure you're available for those weeks in terms of letting your team down or not, hopefully. What I would say, and this is a point for the admins, is it's your responsibility on this occasion to make sure you've got a team together that's ready to run. That is an admin's responsibility. If there's a member in your team or someone who maybe can't attend, it's your job then to go and speak to that member and try and come up with a solution to make sure you're getting your run done in that 7-day time scale. I don't know if people will be doing training and all that kind of stuff this time, but the 7-day time scale does apply, and I would be looking for the admins to show a bit of drive there to make sure that their teams are ready to rock and roll come the first round. So yeah, as Stevie mentioned there are mercies, and given the fact that we have reduced the size of the tournament, it would be my suggestion that there's only 2 mercies on the first round. In the semi-final there's 1 mercy, and in the final there's no mercies. Now mercies basically work as if you get a defeat, you can then carry on. You can, in the first round, 2 mercies, you can have 2 defeats, but your third defeat, you have to leave. That's your tournament.
Yeah, I think that's going to change a little bit with the 842, because the post is a little old. What we're going to do is switch it to the round of 8. We'll still have the 2 mercy. The round of 4 will have the 1 mercy, and then the last round will be no mercy. That round of 16, guys, and I'll update it on the website. We're just going to nix that since we transferred it from 16 teams to 8 teams. Sorry to cut you off there, Shadow.
Mm-hmm. No, that's what I was saying. Yeah, 2 mercies first round, 1 mercy, and then no mercy in the final. And the mercies will work, as I've just said. Your mercies are your defeats, and this tournament is win based. So the amount of wins you get. So, for example, if .con has just teamed up with Jacob, and they get 5 wins, then they lose in the first round, and then they get another 3 wins, then they lose. That's all their mercies used. So in total they'll get 8 wins. The next time they lose, we would total up their wins, and that would be it done. So if they won another 3 games, obviously they'd have 11 wins, 2 defeats, and then that would be their count 11. So the team they're up against would have to, better that to proceed to the semi-final. So hopefully that means that. Okay, go for it.
Go, Cole.
Go for it, question. Go.
No, we got a question. Squidge. He wants to know if any will mercy be shown to any poor bugger that ends up on a team.
No.
Squidge doesn't get extra mercy, no.
No. So yeah, in the semi-final, only 1 mercy, so you're only allowed 1 defeat, and in the final, you should be having the best of the best in the clan. There are no mercies, win streak and win streak only, so good luck in that one. And I think that's all at the moment in terms of covering the prize. Stevie, if you want to cover the prize?
Yeah, so I decided to reach into the Allegiance Bank a little bit, just a little bit, and I ended up offering the winning team Taking King for free. So that's $40 US. Unfortunately, I know I'm going to get some flack from the EU guys and people from Australia. That is maybe a little less than what the Taking King's going to be in your neck of the woods. Don't blame the messenger. Blame Bungie for doing that. But it's going to be $40 US to keep it symmetrical across the board. And hopefully that will get you Taking King or extremely close to Taking King free of charge. So that's going to be our prize. And what are you thinking, Konash? You know, you're that podcast that you guys do over there on Monday. You know, what's your thought process in terms of the rules and how it's set up and that prize that you got, the members are going to get? What's your thought on that?
Hold on, we got a question from Smix. What's
We'll
the
go for Smix
maximum
first,
length? Yeah, what's the maximum length for a run? Last Crucible run, we had 15 rounds in 2 hours without a loss.
That'll be up to the admins to call it. If you're just never going to lose, you can call it.
Yeah,
if you run 15 runs and people have to go, you can call it. But you run until your mercies are out, basically. But if it's going on a ridiculous winning streak, it would be my understanding that the admins would call it there. Stevie?
Yeah, and if you see a team, like if your team that you're going against played first and they have 8 wins, and then you've passed them with 9 wins for your particular time frame, you can end the run there. You don't need to go any further than that. So, yeah, you can go as long as your little heart desires. If you think 20 wins will win you the round, then stop it. But if you want to keep going, then keep going. It's completely up to the admins on the team. So Konash.
So after Konash, I'll just go over the rules in terms of if there's a tie. But over to you, Konash.
Yeah. Well, from my perspective, I'm certainly looking forward to everything that's going to be happening. I mean, whether win streaks will be the easiest thing to get for Smix, they're easy. I mean, I've seen his scores recently, and they are something to be scared of. Honestly, has anyone here looked at his Destiny tracker?
Who cares about Smix? He's not even that good. You know, let's just...
It's crazy.
He's a god among men. A god
he is
among
God.
men.
He is, honestly. I'm slightly afraid. But no, I think the Mercy is going to be an interesting thing. And, you know, with each round it reducing, it's really going to kind of find the cream of the crop and the team that really works together and listens and communicates and you know, is led perfectly with people making right decisions at the right times with hopefully the right weapons as well.
Awesome.
Am I
Cool.
scared of Smix? Yeah. Smix is a very good player. He is a very good player, but I think we're forgetting Doc Conas, you're a very good player. Rockstar is a very good player, and there's a certain member out there going by the name of White Falcon Boy who makes Smix look like a schoolboy in PvP, so be wary of him.
He's very
They're
good
all
too.
the same time zone. You know what's going to happen. You know
Oh,
what's
man.
going to happen. It's going to be the Aussies and the New Zealanders, and they're all going to get together, and they're going to trounce us because they're
No,
just
they're not.
they're really
Confident.
crazy. They're crazy. They
Well,
are fantastic.
Well, that's the perk of the draft here today, right? Say, for an example, someone wants to get strategic, has a draft position, and wants to draft one of the Aussies to break up this little love boat that they're trying to create over there. That's an interesting little draft strategy, you know? Hey, you want to draft Smix or you want to draft Jacob? Hey, you know? Bye-bye, New Zealand and Australian team. That's what I'm just going to say now. So.
I'd just take the New Zealand for myself. I trust me.
You're gonna, it's like a risk board. Cole, what are your thoughts on everything so far in terms of what you're hearing for the tournament and the rules and how it's set up?
So, once again, I'm excited.
Okay, that's 7 people, that's 7.
7. We're going to be counting that down.
No, but I think it's a great setup, and I can't wait to see how these runs go. I mean, I'm hoping people will stream either on Allegiance or on their own Twitch feeds, because obviously I want to watch what Smix is doing. You know, whatever White Falcon's doing. It's, you know, to get on their level a little bit, just a little bit.
That's a good point, Shadow.
Yeah.
Let's discuss the stream. What is the stream process when we're doing tournaments?
Yeah, stream process for doing tournaments, Cole, you'll be glad to know is every single team will stream their run. So you're gonna miss any runs. Every single team that will be running in this tournament will stream their event on Allegiance TV on the Twitch channel. So when the two teams that are facing each other are putting their times into myself and Stevie, we'll obviously make sure that there's no clashing. They'll have the channel for an allocated amount of time, or however long their run will be, depending on how ridiculous their win streak is, etc. And then obviously it'll be handed over to the other team. So throughout that 7-day period, myself and Stevie will collate all the times that people are saying they want to do their runs, and we'll make sure there is no clashes. If there is clashes, we will obviously make sure they're sorted. So you know there is there, Cole. Every run will be streamed on Allegiance TV.
Yay!
Yay, you can watch it along with all the little A minions out there watching Allegiance TV right now. So,
okay.
Minions.
One of the most probably asked questions, I think, out of this one would be what if there's a tie? So, Konaj's team and against Smix's team, Smix teams gets 9 wins, 2 mercies, Konaj's team does the same, so what happens then? Now, I'm going to ask Stevie just to fill out a little bit of the information here, but what will happen here is the winner will be the team that's accrued the most amount of PvP points in terms of our PvP ranking structure. So for example, Smix's team, their KDs could have been really, really good compared to .Conaj. So for example, .Conaj could have, I don't know, for example, carried his team and had a ridiculous KD, but all their KDs were a bit lower, meaning they're not accruing the same amount of PvP points, whereas Smix's team could be, on average, a better team in terms of all their members hitting KDs and accruing points over their run, and it would be the team that have got the most amount of PvP points that would proceed if there's a tie. My question to Stevie is, are we counting PvP points over the entire event, or are you counting PvP points in terms of their last match or matches?
we're doing it. So we're doing it per round. Yeah, we're doing it per round is how it's going to be. So say for an example, you have guys that overall in their run, because there's going to be plenty of PvP points that are going to be accrued throughout this. So to make it easier to keep track of, as well as I don't think it's really necessary to do it throughout, it's going to be per round, guys, which is a good thing. So say for an example, Smix's team is going against Konaj's team. They both tied at a 9-win streak. And Smix went crazy and got a 20.0 KD, but everybody else was at a 1.3. How many points did he have throughout that entire process? You get the picture. So that's why we do have a tiebreaker system, just in case both teams have the same win streak. It will go by PvP points, in which should be tracked by the administrators on each individual team through the run. And me and Shadow will double check those, as we will be refereeing each match, whether live or later on, because since everything is going to be streamed, it'll be archived in the Allegiance TV feed. We will be double checking that to make sure everybody's numbers are correct. So there will be refereeing to this as well, so don't fudge your numbers. Me and Shadow will sniff your ass out.
Yeah. Strike!
Strike! No, just kidding. But we will double check it.
And I know, folks, that there's lots of other questions, and obviously keep them coming in. And there will be admin questions that have came up, as I said before, that I will read out and we will answer live on air in terms of nice, I'm dead. Live on air in terms of some substitutions and lots of other things that have came up. There's 4 or 5 admins came up with some really good questions, so we will be answering those live on the feed as well, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, do we want to go over the questions now, or do we want to wait until things start getting... We probably should keep it synchronized, so we'll go over some of the questions that people had on the feed now before we get to the fun draft portion of this feed.
Okay. Let me get them up. Here we go.
Yeah, get those up.
Right. First one, and I'll put it to you first, Stevie. Every time we get your thoughts on it, and then I can kind of say my piece. We generally agree on everything anyway, but there might be one that we need to discuss in more detail. Okay, first one is from Mr. Legal. Will there be any rules regards to leaving a lobby? Now, I do have my own opinion on this one. If you come up against a great team, for example, and you lose one of your mercies, you lose, basically, are you allowed to come out in orbit, reset that lobby, and go back in to avoid being paired potentially with that team again, or if it's a group of random, say the 3 best players could potentially stay in that lobby or whatever. I know you replied to him, Stevie, and I replied to him saying that we would discuss it. I just wondered how your thoughts are on that one at the moment.
Yeah, my thought process on that is the matchmaker is the matchmaker. So, whether you're going to be matched up again with that person that's going to, make you lose one round, to make things maybe slightly more interesting, as opposed to leaving and matching you up with whoever, I think you should just stay in the matchmaking process unless someone gets disconnected would be my thought process on that. I know there's differences of opinion on this from some members and some administrators and stuff like that, but that's just my thought is have the matchmaker overall have your fate in your hands. If it's the same team, it's the same team. If it's a different team, it's a different team. At the end of the day, it's a tournament, and the best man will win. So that's what I was thinking. What's your thoughts on that, Shadow?
We've started well on this one. My thoughts would be, I think it's in terms of and I don't claim to be an experienced PvP player like yourself or Doc Cornage or whoever, but my experiences thus far are if, especially in Iron Banner, if that type of thing happens, when it's heat of the moment and everything's going crazy, I would be suggesting that you do reset the lobby. I think you should, after a Mercy, if you use a Mercy, I think that should grant you the ability to come out of that lobby and just come out in orbit and launch back in, but the ability to reset that lobby. Whether that gives you advantage, I don't see it as giving an advantage if everyone's kind of the same, but I do see that the luck of the draw in terms of who you're matched up against, if you get the same, for example, say it is 6 randoms you're up against, not a uniform team, and say those 3 good players stay in that lobby, chances are you may get beat again. I don't think you're trying to lessen the odds. All I think you're trying to do is reset it and get it back to an even keel, and I think if every team's allowed to do that, I think it will keep more people happy. But I know it's your decision, so I'm happy to go with whatever.
No, I think we're gonna do something. We're gonna do something a little different here. I got an idea for this. This is a rarity you guys are seeing right now. As much as you guys think me and Shadow might argue behind the scenes, we don't. We actually agree on about 90% of most things, and this is that rare 10% where we're both on a different side of the fence.
Yeah.
So let's get the opinions of Konash first, and then Cole, and then I think I have an idea how we can solve this. So. Konash, what's your thoughts? Do you like staying in the matchmaking lobby, say if you get your first loss, or having the opportunity to reset the lobby if you do get your first loss, leaving and then coming back to reset the matchmaking? What's your thoughts?
Oh, he's on the spot, Luke. He's on the spot.
Are you gonna go against your founder or your ambassador? No. Lose.
I'm gonna go against both of you, really. Well, sort of, in the sense of if it doesn't make sense to allow the reset because. Only because if you go against a team who you absolutely trounce and just completely destroy them, and they come again and you get to go in the same match as them again, if you keep going at them like 3 or 4 times, and then there's this one and someone else gets someone who beats them every single time, if you give them the ability to pull out, it kind of makes it unfair, if you see what I mean. It doesn't really make sense to kind of say that you can pull out of a bad situation. Like Stevie says, it's not really fair that you can pull out of that bad situation, but each time you get a good one, you're just going to keep staying in there until they leave. It should be random each time. Each time, after each match, you should leave and reset. If you happen to get the same group of people again, fantastic if you're winning against them, but if you don't and they end up being a bad team, a team that you actually end up losing against, then that's just the way it is. You just reset each match.
Well, I think what Shadow's thought process is not necessarily resetting it each time. It would be with your Mercy, you have the option of either staying in matchmaking or leave it in matchmaking.
Yeah, then that's what I mean. That's what I mean. You're giving the opportunity to get out of that bad situation. But like you were saying, Stevie, you know, you obviously end up going through. It's just luck of the draw, and it should be like that across the board, or you should have to make it random for all. It should be one or the other. You shouldn't give a mercy just because you've come across a bad team. That's just the way it is.
Okay, so Cole, same question. What's your thoughts on both ideas? Staying in matchmaking throughout the entire process, or when you get your first loss, which is your first mercy, having the option to leaving and re-coming back to reset the matchmaker?
I definitely do like the option for mercy, because if you do get completely trounced, I mean, you're not going back in going, oh god, we have to win this, and then, you know, people get frazzled and all that. But I don't know, the whole leaving the lobby and coming back in every single time. I mean, if you do get a team where you just like take their face and smash it against the floor and they're doing nothing but crying, yeah, that's complete luck of the draw. And I'm pretty sure, and this is from my experience, that people like that don't stay in the lobby. They actually just leave right after that, and then you get a new team. So, I mean, if they stay, that's on them. But you know, it's all relative on the luck of the draw for who's going to drop in. I think the only real concern that I have with the mercy thing is when, you know, because we've all experienced, you know, huge flag switchers. Like, we go in and they're like not there. I mean, so like staying in the lobby after you hit those flag switchers, because obviously they're going to stay because they just, you know, killed you and you're crying and, you know, you want your mama. But backing out and going back in, you know. I mean, that's not a bad idea, just because no one wants to face lag switchers over and over again, because, you know, calling your mom's name so many times, you know, it does get old.
Yes. I think before you make a final decision there, Stevie, just to highlight on Cole's point is, I think the idea of the mercy and what I was trying to get at was to allow the longevity of the tournament and the team playing in that round. For example, the last tournament or PvE tournament, you had one round. If you lost it, you were gone. With this one, allowing the mercy, for example, if you kept them in the same matchmaking, they got that team twice. That's their tournament done. That's that month gone.
Right.
If you allow them to reset, you're allowing them the chance to increase that longevity of being in the tournament, to try and get the win streak, to try and get on that run, to try and compete with the likes of Smix and things like that. And like Cole said as well, just to flip that on its head, the last tournament we had some glitches and things like that, okay? I think people should be clear from the off that myself, Stevie, the admins, the way the tournament's set out, we cannot predict if you're going to come up against a lag switching team, and if they take one of your mercies, like Cole just said, that is unfortunate. We cannot do anything about that. There won't be any like meeting to convene a decision or whatever. If you come up against a team that beat you and they've used lag switching, you've been cheated, but that's one of your mercies gone, and you move on. You kick ass next time and just move on. There's nothing that we can do about lag switching or glitching or anything like that. We can't stop a team trying to cheat against you. They're not going to know you're in the tournament, if you know what I mean. So
Gotcha.
you just kind of have to roll with that, and I'd like people to be aware of that from the off. We can do nothing about that. We feel for you, but again, we can do nothing about it. So before you make that decision, Stevie, I just want to get that point in on the mercy.
Yeah. No problem. Do we have any questions, Cole, before I roll out my idea here?
Yep, we got two. Let's see if I can find them, because people are talking up a storm. It's fantastic. I like the excitement.
31 current viewers, by the way. What's our record? What's our record, Shadow?
34, I think.
Ooh, come on, guys, talk it up. Get your friends on this feed right now. Allegiance TV and Twitch. Let's break that overall record at 34 with 3 away. So, just want to point that out.
So
yeah.
Patsky wants to know if there's a booby prize for, you know, people get completely demolished, aka Squidge's team. That's his question.
No.
We'll get a wooden spoon sent to you.
Yeah. Yeah, some nice black licorice jelly beans. The worst jelly beans of them all. You can just eat them up.
That's disgusting. Cool. And then Killbox wants to know, and I'm not quite sure if this is a question or not, but it's in question form. Are endangered WX squiggly line #S allowed? I have no idea what that means.
Wait, what?
No idea what that means.
I have no idea what that means.
English, Killbox, dude.
Come on, Killbox, jeez.
I have no idea what it means. But okay, I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
Jeez.
I don't know what it means, but yes.
Oh man. Oh, and
decision time.
any other questions there, Cole? Or are we good on the question side of things?
That's all I got.
Well, guys.
Like, yeah.
Guys, you have any questions, please put it on the Twitch feed relative to the actual Allegiance PvP tournament. The Empress of Muffins will actually read out your questions that you would have, and we can kind of discuss it here in our wonderful Vestian outpost of love. So, all right, this is what we're going to do. Oh, kinky. We're pulling out here. Oh, yeah, I went there. All right, so, all right, so, oh, God, all right. We're not getting off course on this particular on this particular meet, we're not getting off course. All right, so, this is what we're going to do. Is anybody, Cole, do you have a pen and paper ready?
I do, actually.
Perfect. So, we're going to do our first ever, on our first ever Allegiance Draft Special, our first ever live poll to get this decision out to the people. So, my question to the Allegiance community is this. If you would like the matchmaker to stay the same, like not having the opportunity to leave the matchmaker, even with your mercy, kind of my idea that I discussed, please put the number 1. If you like Shadow's idea, where once you get a mercy, you can pull out of your matchmaker and re-up your matchmaker, reset it, just put the number 2. We will tally it up from here, and that's our decision based on public polls. So, of course, my vote is... we'll give it 5 minutes. Yeah, 5:45. So, my vote is 1, of course. Shadow?
My vote is 2. 2.
Konesh, your vote.
Considering what Shadow said, it's going to be 2.
Cole.
Love you, Konesh.
2.
Love you, Cole.
The votes are coming in. Look at all this activity on the feed. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Shall we go on with another question just while that's coming in?
Yeah, well, yeah, Cole will keep an eye on that. Yeah, let's go on to the next question overall that you have, Shadow.
Legal, okay, that's not correct.
What was I going to say? Okay, well, there's a couple other questions from Val in terms of how admins will be paired up. We've covered that. There was a question from Delay regarding the DLC being $40, but you've covered up that. There's nothing we can do about the Bungie thing, and prizes being released and given to the winning team will be discussed in the admin thread and then distributed from there.
Funky, Jesus.
Funky has not sure how the members will be placed in teams. We've discussed that, and the last thing is also it's pretty much done. Okay. Legal, very good question, my friend. So he says, say after the first round a player from a team can't participate in the next round because they can't commit to it or taken to hospital. We've had that recently with our good friend Smix. Are we allowing substitutions? And if we do, can players who have been eliminated from previous rounds be picked? Or would it have to be people who are yet to take part in the tournament? So that's just kind of like a two-part question from Legal Mr. Bizzle. Over to you.
So the first part of that question is, can you take someone from another team once they've been eliminated? No. It would have to be a new member to give a new member an opportunity to get into the tournament. That person has already had their shot relevant to the team they put in, so my answer to that would be no. The second part of it is, it goes back to the question of, really talk to the individuals that are on your team prior to the tournament beginning. You're going to see how your team is set up or who signs up for your team weeks before the actual start of the tournament. So keep the messages and communication open to your team members on this PvP tournament. They don't have the availability or need to back out, and you had a conversation with them weeks before. Unfortunately, you're going to have to, that you're not going to get a replacement on that team. you had the opportunity to figure that out prior hand, unless there's an emergency. If there's a real emergency, like we recently had someone have to go to the hospital for a week, and they really can't fill that out, me and Shadow would discuss it and go from there. So we would make kind of an executive decision to figure out how that particular team would advance and move forward. But if there's just an excuse where someone can't sit there and join the tournament, then I would say. That would say it would be on that team because they should have had open communication to prior weeks of the tournament.
So what we're saying there is we are allowing a substitution, but only if there is an emergency situation that me and Stevie have been made aware of. We'll discuss it and then take it from there. If someone is just pulling out for whatever reason at the last minute, they are not getting a substitution, so they will run with the 5.
Right. Right, they would run with a 5 with one random, right?
Yeah, okay, and just to clarify what Stevie said there as well, that no players from the previous rounds that have participated will be allowed to be taken in should myself and Stevie consider that substitution is allowed based on that emergency. You're not allowed to pick any players that have been previously in the tournament. So yeah, again, onus here is on admins to get together with their team once the people have signed up and make sure that you're putting the messages out there that, are you available during these weeks? What are the best times for us to get available? Are you definitely committed to that? Because you need to have this conversation with them to say, if you leave or if someone leaves, we are not going to get someone else in unless it's an emergency, so we will be running with 5. So up to the admins again to ensure the commitment of their team, which I'm sure will be no problems because we've got a great community here. So yeah, just to elaborate on that point, and I think that kind of answers that one. That is all of the major questions in terms of admins, Mr. Bizzle. I wonder what Cole's getting on.
Yeah, Cole, what is the overall results of the poll that we just took on how we're going to move forward with the Mercy Rule?
So 2 things before that, build up anticipation.
Oh, look at Cole.
Okay, so we're up to 35 viewers. Fantastic.
Look at that! We just broke the record. How about that? Oh man, 35 viewers. Thank you guys for participating in the feed. Appreciate it.
And then Patsy wants to know what happens when in a highly unlikely event that 2 teams actually come up against each other in Crucible. What would happen?
You better beat them, because they'll take your mercy away. Yeah, they'll take your mercy away if you don't beat them. So that's why the mercy rule is in place.
And then Smix has a question of his own. What happens if you get a no-show? Is your run delayed, or do you find a replacement not in another team?
If you get a no-show on your particular team, that's on that individual letting your team down. You'd have to run with 5, and you would strike that individual not coming through.
Yep.
So for option number 1, here's results. Drum roll.
Come on, Shadow. Yeah, there you go. Wow, that is the worst drum roll. I apologize to the 35 viewers that just heard Shadow's drum roll. It sounded like he was motorboating an 87-year-old woman. So, just wanted to...
That's nasty.
All right, Cole. Give him the results.
Option number 1. We only got 3 votes for option number 1.
Oh. How many votes we get for 2?
14.
Well, the people have talked and spoken. That's a far majority, guys. So how it will work moving forward, and we will make sure to put this in the notes of the tournament. If you guys do get your first loss, which is your first mercy in the first round, you will be able to reset the lobby. So you can thank Shadow for that, and cool. So we got that all figured out.
Squared away. 2 more answers.
I think it was a really good way of putting it out there, letting the viewers decide. That was a good initiative there, Mr. Bizzle. I didn't think of that. That was quite good.
Yeah, see, I think on my toes. And we've been running this for almost a year now, Shadow. You don't think I know what I'm doing, brother?
Wow.
So what's up, Cole?
So we actually had 2 other answers to that thing as well, to the voting poll.
Oh, what were those?
One answer is 3, which you can thank Rockstar for that.
Oh, great.
And
yeah, he's retarded. Next.
And then we had 3 votes for 69.
69, so people want to get it in, yeah. So everybody's just going to have a sexual love fest throughout this entire PvP tournament. There's going to be 3 teams that don't even fight each other. They're just going to lay with each other. Great. All right, so...
I call that Call it.
Konash, what do you think of switching the PvP tournament to an absolute sexual love fest? Your thoughts on that?
I've got to go for no.
I'm in. Let's have some fun.
Oh,
Let me
man.
hold you, Stevie.
Oh, there we go. We're just...
No, I've had enough. I'm out.
He doesn't want to see dogs.
yeah, that's true. Oh, man. Alrighty. So, if we don't have any more questions, should we get on to the draft?
We have one more question before we go.
Okay, what's that question?
Two more questions. One is from Patsky with the 5-man if you have a no-show or somebody doesn't, someone has an emergency. Do you end up running with a random?
Yep.
Yes.
Obviously. But
Yep.
still. And so we got one from Nipper Hell. Is that Mercy reset just the first round?
No, your mercies count all the way through. You've got 2 mercies first round, so you can reset it twice. You've got 1 mercy on the semi-finals, so you can reset your lobby once. And in the final, you have no mercies, so you cannot reset your lobby. Once you click launch in the final, that's it. You're in.
Alright. And that's it. That's all I got.
That's it! Alrighty, so... Shadow, how about we do a rundown on how we're gonna do this tournament? Just because, or this draft. I'm sorry. So the draft is gonna go like what? What is the process of this draft, and what people should expect?
Okay, so as Stevie said beforehand, we have reduced the numbers in terms of the capacity of admins to fulfill the tournament and the capacity of the admins that are not on holidays and things like that. So we've reduced it from the 16 to the 8-man. Team. So what we're going to do is we're going to draft in live here just now 4 admins from the EU/US side, and we're going to draft in 4 admins from the NA side. If you're drafted first, you've obviously got 3 picks of the other admins to join your team. So if you're drafted into this live chat just now, you get an invite. We're going to ask you which other admin you would like on your team. If we draft an admin who is not available or not online, they will have a 5-minute grace where they can respond. Myself and Stevie will put an admin message out on the admin threads to get that admin's pick. If they don't respond within that 5 minutes, they will be auto-drafted with the next admin in line that's picked out the hat. So if you do not show up or you don't message us to let us know who your pick is, you will then be auto-drafted. Now we are going to have, as we said at the start, we're going to have some spillover in terms of the amount of admins that may want to take part. We can only draft the 4, which means a total of 8 admins will be picked on each side. There may be 10 or 11 active admins on the EU/US side that want to be part of the tournament, and if those 3 admins, for example, didn't get drafted, they then have free pick of whichever team they would like to join. Same on the NA side. So once we've drafted all the teams, we'll then be putting the bracket out on the website again, like we did with the last tournament, and the members will be available to sign up. I do have one question for Mr. Bizzle that I don't think we've gone over yet, so it's probably good that it's come out on the live feed, is...
No doubt.
Can admins cross over? For example, can Konaj pick D2?
I want to keep the teams to European, EU, US, UK versus NA. I like that kind of what we did on the first tournament, kind of the EU, US, NA side. I don't know. I just like that kind of across the pond competition. So I would say let's keep it in our own divisions.
I would agree with that as well. I was just putting it out there in case anybody asked, and the reason I agree with that is the ease of getting teams together. If you've got people in different time zones trying to get together, it causes a lot of confusion, and we want to avoid that at this tournament. So hopefully the admins who are drafted in, obviously I'm sure they'll make choices to appease their team, but obviously sensible choices to make sure the tournament runs quite smoothly and you can get your team together. So viewers, members as well, be aware of that when you're signing up for your admin's team. That you might be signing up to a different time zone and things like that, and again the onus is on the admins to make sure they're getting their teams together to make sure that commitment's there to be there for the whole tournament should you get that far.
Correct. All right. So that basically gives the rundown of how we're going to do this draft, guys. Is each administrator is going to be drafting their particular person. Myself, will be picking out of a hat for the NA side. So whoever I pick out first, we will call in that administrator to see who they draft. And once that person's off the board, they're off the hat, or they're out of the hat. Same thing with Shadow. Shadow will do the same thing on the EU, AUS, and UK side. So we're going to get this kicked off. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Shadow.
Just before I continue again, sorry I cut you off, Stevie. If an admin picks another admin that isn't available, for example, just to let people know, we have Rude Boy, Squidge, and Boinsey on holidays for the tournament at the moment. I know Delay has some holidays in August, and our newest admin, Chobman, is unavailable for parts of August as well. So if you're picking an admin like that, we will let you know that obviously you have to re-pick an admin that's going to be there for the duration of August. So it's just that people know that, and I know Stevie's got the admins that are unavailable on the NA side, so just be aware if you do pick an admin that's unavailable, we shall let you know. But I'm just writing down the names just now, Stevie, so I can get them cut out into little bits of paper.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm doing, as I forgot to do it. So, all right. Do we have any questions while we're doing this here, Cole?
City wants to know if the hat is real.
Do you hear the actual ripping of the paper me and him are doing right now? Like,
listen.
Yeah, see?
I'm ripping paper.
I'm ripping paper as well. So,
Right,
all right. You can pull out the one that you just put in there. What'd you do?
Right.
Konash, real quick, what do we have while we're doing this? What do we have in store for the podcast this upcoming Monday?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh boy.
That's tomorrow, by the way.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah, I know it's tomorrow.
Just tomorrow.
I know it's tomorrow. Well, we'll probably be talking about the new changes that they're making to the UI that's been put on the weekly update by Bungie. If you haven't checked that out, have a look and get our views on that tomorrow. We'll also be talking about the having a reaction to what we're about to find out in the draft as well. Who we're interested to see taking on who with the teams. And from there, you just have to see what happens.
Well, we're also going over moments of triumph and possibly Skolas for people who haven't done it yet, because I actually just got through it today, so yay!
Yes.
But we'll probably be going over that too. Yay! My moments of triumph is done! Yeah,
it is done now. Oh, thank the Lord.
Yeah, it's done. Yay! But,
Stevie,
so
I'm almost ready.
I'm almost ready too here. Cool.
Folding.
So yeah, guys, if you haven't checked out the Allegiance podcast, it's a lot of fun. A lot of, it's kind of a blend of what's going on with Destiny to what's going on with the clan as well. It's really fun. Sometimes we get way off topic and way inappropriate, but it's good entertainment. So yes. So if you haven't checked out the podcast yet, it is what time is the podcast each Monday, Konash?
It's 8 PM BST, which ends up being, Cole, what time your side?
2 o'clock my time.
3 o'clock Eastern, and
there you go.
I think that's 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. So, and I'm not going to go over Japanese or anything like that either.
I'm getting really interested because this is the quietest I have ever heard Doc Connors.
Wow, I think it's...
I'm excited. I'm waiting it.
I'm waiting for it. Paired up against Smix or something like that. Normally you get Doc Connors in the chat. It's the confident bravado. It's the cockiness comes out, and now he's been super quiet, thinking, "Oh my God, I hope we don't get Smix or whatever." So this is interesting to see Doc Connors quiet.
I want to be with Smix, if anything.
Ooh,
that would be yeah.
Okay, I'm ready, Stevie. I have my 8 pieces. I'm good to go.
I just put everything in the hat. Before we do this, also, guys, I just want to revert this also. Since we have extra administrators out there, if for whatever reason we do the draft, you pick the individual, and then they message me or Shadow, they say, "Hey, I can no longer do the tournament in August." we will be replacing that particular team of that individual who dropped out with another admin. So whatever admin sat there and joined a team, if there was an admin that backed out, we asked the admins to step up to the plate and replace that particular admin that dropped out. Just like we did in the last tournament. Shadow, you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely agree. Yeah, totally.
Cool. Awesome. All right. So the first person that comes out of the hat of Shadow, do you have like a big witch hat? Like I picture Shadow having like a Halloween witch hat that he's picking out of right now. What kind of hat is it?
It's not a hat. It's a small glass bowl.
What?
Fancy.
Small glass bowl. All right. Wow.
Yeah. Cole, leave me alone.
The people demand blood. They demand it.
All the anticipation. Who's going to be picked out of Shadow's hat? Everybody ready? The 35 viewers that we have here?
Tell me when.
Let's pick it out. Let's get the first overall draft pick in the EUAS.
Can you hear the paper? Here it is. It's Locutus.
Let's get Locutus. Locutus has a first overall pick in the EU, AUS, UK side. Konash, what do you think Locutus is going to go for here?
I don't actually know. This will be interesting. I'm not sure who he will go for, especially given the time differences. He could really go for anyone on the UK side, EU side, and potentially some of America as well. So it's going to be interesting. Maybe myself, maybe Game Freak.
Remember, he can't pick anybody American.
Yep. So
it'd be me. It'd probably be me or Game Freak or potentially Smix. I'm not too sure if he plays that late, so it'd be interesting. Okay, I'm going to be interested to see who he picks.
Cole, what's your thought process on this pick?
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. That's gonna be fun. I can't wait to see who he picks. I mean, seriously. I hope it's not Doc.
Shadow, who are your thoughts on this pick? Who do you think Locutus is gonna go for in the first overall pick of the first ever Allegiance draft?
I wasn't meaning to interrupt there. I was just trying to let you know that he's not online, so his 5-minute grace.
Oh wait, Locutus is right here. He just picked.
Who's he picked?
Squidge. I picked Squidge. There we go. So
there you go.
So I picked Squidge. So Locutus and Squidge.
Actually.
Stevie, are you getting this down? Yeah.
What's that?
Are you writing this down?
I can write it down if you want me to.
I got it.
Okay, Cole's got it. Okay, cool.
Cole's got it.
So Stevie.
Alrighty. So I will be picking out of one of the best baseball teams ever, a New York Yankees cap. If anybody knows, the Yankees in the States are one of the greatest sports teams in the history of sports, so I just wanted to point that out there. Alright, anyways, I'm shaking it up here. Who do we got?
3, 2, 1, go!
Who we got? Alrighty. I got a name out. The first overall draft pick on the NA side is Rey Mysterio. So Rey Mysterio of NA Central. If we have him online, let's invite him in.
He is not online.
So let's send out the messages, and we have 5 minutes. Can someone time Mr. Mysterio's...
I'm on it.
Alright, cool.
The timer has started. So, while you're doing that, I think we should get our good doctor here. His thoughts on Locutus's choice and Locutus and Squidge's team. What do you think of that, Mr. Konash?
I'm not quite sure. I've never actually. No, not in a bad way. I've just never really seen Locutus and Squidge play together. I mean, they're both really friendly people, so it wouldn't surprise me that at some point they played together. But personally, I've never seen them really play together, or not that I can remember. But then again, my memory's shot, so I just live in the moment. That's why I'm so fast and so good. There it is. There it is. I'm back.
Says the person who died 11 times in PoE today.
What, in a 35? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Did we get through that 35? Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did.
What's your thoughts on that team, Cole?
Man, to be honest, I've only played with, Lakotas once. So, I mean, Squidge, yeah, he's great. I mean, I love him. He's fun to play with, but I'm not quite sure skill level-wise, I guess. I don't know how much higher my voice can go. But,
I don't know. I'm not sure.
It is pretty exciting since, I hardly know, barely anything about their PvP skill, unlike Smix.
Okay.
So it's gonna be really fun to watch their stream and see how they actually do.
Okay.
So
well, I can fill you in on a little bit of detail there. Squidge is PvP's not his thing, and I'm sure you'll forgive me for saying that. PvP is not his thing. Lucaris has been absolutely smashing PvP lately. He had a lot of fun in the last Iron Banner. I remember it must have been 4, possibly 5 weeks ago. Lucaris joined me on one of my Crucible runs on a Friday night and said, listen, hey, I'm not the best at PvP, and I was like that. I'm still not the best. I'm still improving, even though I wasn't as bad as I was before. Lucaris was in that position, and I told him then that he needs to just grind it out. The 50 odd games or something that he's going to go through in terms of finding the right weapon, what balance he likes, and just he's going to die a lot until he learns the maps, until he learns that PvP is just a whole different ballgame. It's a totally different way of playing a PvE. And now, 5 weeks later, he's killing it in Crucible. He's doing really well. So my thoughts on Squidge and Lucaris' team is I think they're going to be the fun team. They're going to be the team that have a really, really good time with it, and just hats off, not bothered, and just go in and absolutely have a good laugh. So yeah, I'll definitely be watching their stream, and I look forward to it, 'cause I think that one will be a lot of fun. What about yourself, Mr. Bizzle?
Well, I'm going to be, and the messages have been sent to Mysterio, so he's been messaged on Bungie as well as on our website too, so he has all the open communication. Anybody that's watching the feed now, if you can get in contact with Mysterio, please reach out to him to let him know he has the first overall draft pick. So we don't want the first overall pick to be an auto draft, but if we have to, then so be it. Alright, so I'm going to be...
2 minutes 10.
2 minutes
10 left.
Alright, 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. Alright, so basically, I'm going to be the devil's advocate person on this, so I didn't understand the pick. You got a lot of individuals out there that are extremely skilled in PvP. I love Squidge to death. He's a great guy, but for the first overall pick, if you want to win the tournament, man, I mean, I know if I was in that position, I would have picked Smix, maybe possibly Game Freak, someone else. Hey, we're analyzing a competitive branch of overall winning. And Squidge being the first overall pick, not so sure. So, love you, Squidge, but yeah, I think he could have went another route there. So that was my thought process on that.
Squidge.
But we love you, Squidge. I see everybody was staying positive with it. I had to go a little bit like analytical and competitive. Like if you watch ESPN or your fellow sports things, they always have that one guy. They have that one guy, right? What?
Yeah. Okay, so apparently in the Allegiance TV chat, Lakotas, or I want to say Locust, I'm sorry, but apparently according to him, yeah, I don't know, it sounds like a train with a locust attached, I don't know, but apparently him and Squidge go way back, so it's more of a vintage nostalgia, loyalty thing, which I can understand that. I mean, they've been running together that long, so.
In all serious too. You got two guys, that overall, you can get 4 guys that'll be really good on that team. Lakutis is an extremely good leader. He can, really gravitate some solid people onto that team. At the end of the day, one person doesn't break a team, but I'm just being honest. I would have probably picked someone else. Jeez, I mean, God, I know I'm getting ripped right now on TV, but does anybody understand? I mean, come on. I mean,
yeah, you're getting ripped. How dare you get that about Squidge?
I mean, hey, if I'm looking to win the Taken King, and I got all these admins to pick from, I mean, come on. So, I don't know. But anyways, guys.
Time is up.
All right, let's double check overall to see if he has messaged back. And if he has not, we will auto draft for Mr. Mysterio. Let's check. Oh, he did message. He did message us back. So I got a message on the website.
Who's he got? Who's he got?
Mr.
I don't know who the good admins are in terms of PvP.
What are you barking at, Gorgs? Jeez.
Jody
Jody is super excited for Mr. Mysterio's pick. I don't know what she's barking at.
Go, Jody!
Isaac, go! Isaac, go!
Okay, so Mysterio picked someone he couldn't pick, so I'm gonna message him back. We'll give him extra. He chose Game Freak, but he couldn't pick him because he's on the wrong side of the pond. So.
Aw, that's too
And just while you're doing that, Stevie, we'll just confirm that it is that cross the pond rivalry, if you like, the Ryder Cup style rivalry. I'm sure that we'll sort the bracket out on this occasion in terms of we'll have the 4 NA teams on one side and the 4 EU/US teams on the other side. Is that correct? And then they'll filter off against each other, so we can guarantee having a EU/US in the final and an NA in the final. Is that correct?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was in the middle of typing from Mysterio. What was that?
I'm just trying to say the layout of the tournament, because I know the website last time basically laid it out in terms of who created who. So it took a vertical print, if you like, sorry, a horizontal print, and just made it vertical in terms of the bracket. I don't think it randomized it. It just let it fall into place. So like you were up against Badger because you guys were the first 2 names. So I'm saying this time we're making sure that there's 4 NA teams on one side, 4 EU/US teams on the other side, and then they face off against each other so that we can guarantee EU/US against NA.
Yeah. As long if that is the case, Shadow, I would like it a EU/US side bracket and a NA side bracket. If we can control that, okay. I'd want to control it that way. If it's not controlled and it's random, there's really nothing we can do about that. So because we're at mercy of the server. So, did you guys? So what did everybody discuss what they thought about the Lakotas pick? Did everybody share? Okay, cool. Yeah. So awesome. I didn't know. So we're just kind of at the mercy here of Mysterio messaging me back. I just messaged him. He should message me any second here. He's having trouble logging on to. Yeah, he's right there. He's having trouble logging on to the Twitch feed. So while we give Mysterio a couple minutes here. What else can we discuss? Should we do? Yeah, let's go to the EU/US side because we don't need to be at the mercy of Mysterio on this side. We can sit there and have the EU/US go. So let's get that next pick rolling out of the hat.
Give me a countdown. Give me that 87-year-old drum roll.
5, 4, 3.
We have. Oh my god, this is interesting. Oh, the big players are gonna fall now. We have Game Freak.
Game Freak has the 2nd overall pick. He can pick whoever he wants. Can it be Konaj? Could be Smix. Could be Smix.
Let's get him in. Where is he? Where are you, Game Freak? He is not online. What the hell, admins?
Come on, admins! Jeez! Why is everybody
online? His 5 minutes start now. Is he on the chat? Is he on the feed? Cole, can you message out on the feed?
Yep, hold on. Wait, who we talking to? Oh yeah, Game Freak.
Game Freak, you're drafted. 5 mins. Who do you pick? Okay, message sent.
Yep.
Game Freak isn't on the feed by the looks of it. Just gonna quickly check the website.
Has Mysterio got back to you?
Yes, I believe he has. I'm just kind of confirming his pick here. Because it wasn't like a firm pick, it was like a question pick. So I was like, so it wasn't like, can I pick so-and-so? And I was like, yes, you can.
Damn, we're up to 202 comments.
Yeah, you keep that rolling. 4 minutes, Game Freak.
4 minutes, Game Freak. Where the hell are you? You were super excited about this and you don't show up? God damn it!
I don't mean to burst your bubble, Stevie, but shouting louder doesn't make him hear you.
Oh wow, thanks,
Konaj is
Konash.
so depressive.
I
tonight,
know,
isn't he? He's just
Konash. What?
a quiet, depressive. He's acting like a recluse. Come on, Konaj.
I just want to
think I
kill
broke him.
things. That's
I think I
I just
broke
got
up.
problems. I'm sorry.
What kind of problems? Sort your shit out, dude. I have spoken. The Empress has spoken.
The Empress has spoken. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you dick.
Come on, Mysterio. You know what's one thing? We're gonna have a conversation real quick. I'm just gonna bring this up. This is off topic, but you know what? You know what grinds my gears? It's when
Oh
someone
my God,
sees you post something and then you could see that they read it, and then they overall, and then they haven't responded back to you. It says read. That kills me, man. I don't know. That's just me. But I'm sorry, Rockstar, for blowing your ear bubbles off. So I'm sorry about that. All right.
Ear bubbles?
Ear bubbles. You heard of ear bubbles before? I mean, come on. No one's heard of ear bubbles before.
That's a negative.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I've got to apologise. I haven't.
No need to apologise. It's just bizzle being bizzle.
yeah.
Never even heard of.
Is everybody liking this feed so far, guys? We got 35 individuals on the feed right now. I want to hear from the community. Would they love to see something like this again for the next time we roll out an event? Let me hear the responses on there. And of course, if you also have any questions relevant to the tournament, please post them up. Cole will make sure to run it up the chain here so we can discuss it. So.
Yep.
So, who's Mysterio picked, or has he not got back?
He hasn't gotten back to me just yet.
So, I got a question, Stevie. If I get picked, can I draft you? Can I pick you? No?
If so basically, if I pull your name out of the hat, then yeah, you can pick whoever you want on the NA side, including myself. So, however, if someone does draft you, then you won't be able to draft because you're already on a team.
I'll be a sad panda.
You'll be a sad little panda. Do we have an update on Mr. Freak? Or do we have it?
He has 1 minute and 5 seconds
Wow.
left, or he will be auto-drafted.
With me, just saying. It's gonna happen.
Aww, I'm sad now. I just got called a kiss ass.
Oh,
Well, I feel
damn.
like you deserve it.
Damn.
can I go with you, Stevie? Oh, Stevie, can I go
Do you know how many times I have
Kiss
thrown
ass.
Stevie off the fucking reef? You know how many times I've killed him? How much shit I gave him?
That's just how much you love him.
Shut up, Doc. Don't make me go over there.
It's
I'll throw
true.
you off.
Go on then.
Come
See
here.
ya.
Come here. Throw me right off.
Okay.
Bye.
10 seconds, Mr. Freak.
Oh my god, I can't believe Game Freak's gonna get. I could have sworn Freak would be the one that would be actually sitting in here, ready to pick his team. Like, are you shocked right now, Shadow, that he's actually gonna get auto-drafted?
I am very shocked. Game Freak is one person that is, I understand it's getting late and we're pushing on as fast as we can, but I did not expect Game Freak to be auto-drafted, but he is. So if you could give me the countdown, I will pick the auto-draft.
Yeah, alright, so you have no messages? Nothing from Freak?
Nope,
Nothing at all?
Just check.
Alrighty,
Is there
so...
anything on the feed?
Nope.
Refresh
Looks
this
like
message
nobody.
one last
Yeah,
time.
Cole, do you see anything on the feed about
I got
Game Freak?
nothing. I got nothing.
Okay. Right. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Who is with Game Freak?
Go on. Do it.
1, 2, 3. Oh my god! They're we! Smix.
Oh my god! Game Freak and Smix
Shit.
are a team. on. Oh my god.
That's it. That's it. The
Wow.
period's over. That's
Wow. What? Wow.
The pyramid's green. The
And-
pyramid
I'm
scheme is
gonna
over.
love seeing Game Freak and Smix go up against two other
Oh,
rock stars.
Jesus.
That's gonna be brilliant.
Oh
That's
my
gonna be
god.
on.
What a
What
team.
pick.
That's it.
So,
Done.
so
Everybody
do
go home.
would you like to hear Mr. Rey Mysterio's pick, or would we
Yes.
go
Yeah.
into? All right, so we're gonna go into Mysterio's pick here, and then while we're waiting for the next person to pop up, we'll go over the analytics of this team just being drafted, because I know a lot of people want to talk about it, or anybody else, or Rey Mysterio's pick. So Rey Mysterio has picked. Can I get an 87-year-old grandmother? Drum roll, please. Oh wow, that was very, very disturbing. So, Rey Mysterio's pick is fellow NA Central Administrator Icicle. Icicle, you have been drafted by Ms.
Yes.
Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio is a
Oh
kiss
my
ass.
God.
Rey Mysterio is a kiss ass.
Wow.
So, first overall
Wow.
pick on that side is Rey Mysterio, and good old Icicle will be on a team
Oh,
on the NA
goodness.
Central.
Oh,
So,
my.
let's
Awesome, not cool.
what's your thoughts as you just got drafted and you're in the room?
So, so this is what I'm doing right now. Wee! Bye!
I thought she was gonna say excited.
Oh my! I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. Alrighty.
No, really. So this is gonna be really interesting because I don't recall ever playing with Rey Mysterio ever. Like,
So this.
maybe once, but I don't recall.
trials.
So,
He's good. He does trials and
ooh.
everything. He's good.
ooh,
You're
He is-
on a good team, Cole.
I'll be honest with
Ooh.
you. I want to get into a little bit more of the description on this team because I've heard really good things about Mysterio. I think this could be a dark horse on the NA side. You know, Cole, you can hold your own, but I've seen really good things from the Mystery Man
Yeah.
over there on the NA Central. So that could be a team to be reckoned with on the NA side. So just keep your eyes
Yeah,
peeled on
you
that
know
team.
you know what's gonna have to happen? The same thing's gonna have to happen as it did on Friday when I got like 4 points in a Crucible run. I'm gonna have to eat like half a cake, drink a Red Bull, and go flying down the highway at 80 miles an hour for like an hour and then come home. That's the only way I got that many points.
Alrighty, you guys ready for the next pick on the NA side?
Yeah, do it.
Alrighty.
do
As
it.
I pull out of the head, as I put. Yeah, right.
Bizzle.
Oh, let's
This is
see.
gonna be Bizzle.
Let's see here.
It's
And the
Bizzle.
pick is
Bizzle.
Ray and Val. So Ray and Val would be the
Wow, I
person
will
to
go
be the
give her an
second pick.
invite.
So find Ray and Val if she's on.
Please be online.
I know we're like striking out right now with a live overall pick.
And she's not online.
Mother freaking A. All right, so
Mother freaking.
all right,
5
so
minutes.
5 minutes for Ray and Val before the auto draft happens.
And that 5 minutes starts now.
All right, let me message good old Ray and Val. Let's put a message out
well.
on. Let's put a message out on the thread, and I will message on the website along with Bungie too. So, all right, so let's
That'll
get
give me a nice
let's
chance to speak to Mr. Clonage about Game Freak and
Yeah.
Smix. Go
Oh,
on then,
God.
Doc. Give us both
I don't want
barrels.
to talk
Don't be
about
shy.
it. I'm going to be gloomy. I am going to be gloomy because this is exactly what I
Okay.
was afraid of. This
Oh,
is
wait,
horror. This is hell.
God.
You know, no, Doc, this is
Um,
good. This is good.
No, it's not. It's
This is
the worst thing that could have happened to me.
No, Doc, this is good. You want to know why? Why this is good for you?
What? Because you think you're going to win? No.
No, let me explain. This is good because finally a team is going to take you off your high horse, put you underneath
Oh damn!
and death with it.
That's what you
We got the
think.
fight and talk.
Yes,
I'm just
Yes.
going to go get better. I'm just going to
Yep.
go get better.
yes. This is your challenge. This is your challenge. So take it.
The Maven's
Face
going to
it.
step up.
Come on, Maven.
Ascend.
Yes. Yes.
But no, I think it's ridiculous. That's what the chances. What like how many people?
What have you
And
seen
it
from
has
the
to be
players
Smix.
over there? What have you seen from Smix and Game Freak as PvP players, Konesh?
Well, to put it to you this way, I've been to the Lighthouse with Game Freak, and with Smix, I've gone round after 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 round. I'm not exaggerating. After round after round after round of Crucible, and he's won every match, just every match up, no trouble, just been fantastic. They are just two of the best PvP players out there, by far. Smix makes me look stupid, and I'm realizing that every time I'm playing with him. So yeah, they are two really good players. Game Freak as well, just fantastic. Both of them just. It's going to be a hard team to beat. I'm really interested to see what the Americas can do now.
Shadow, what is your thoughts on that particular team?
I freaking love it. I just cannot wait to see, or hopefully, whoever Rockstar's with come up against Smix and Game Freak. That'll be absolutely, because you'll have two best friends in Smix and Rockstar, and the opposing teams try to kick each other's ass. And don't get me wrong, you know, I agree with Game Freak that, you know, with Doc Connor, sorry, that it is a very, very strong team, but you know, this is what it's all about. I'm not disappointed with that team at all. I do wish them all the best. It will be a hard team to beat, but I think with two great players like that on the team, you know, I'm going to throw this out there. It's a word that's been used a lot, but how will the chemistry flow in that team? How will it flow? You get two great players competing to be at the top. You've got the egos and all that kind of stuff. How will that work out for them? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they actually fit together.
I don't know. I reckon they'll be fine. I reckon they'll do it well. That's the issue.
Well, I'm interested to see how they get on. I mean, I do wish them all the best. I think it's a really good team, but I can't wait to see who they come up against. That's the next most interesting point for me. Good team, but let's see who they're up against. That's all.
How long we got left, Stevie?
We've got 1 minute left for Ray and Val. Mr. Bizzle,
all right, cool. So I'm here.
For a second.
I'm here. Yeah, sorry, I muted my mic. Yeah, so that I gotta say, that particular team, my opinion on it is, it's gonna be a tough team to beat at the end of the day. But at the same time, what happens if it's just really Game Freak and Smix, right? What if the four people that join that team are individuals that might struggle with PvP and are looking for a freeway ticket to get there? You got to think of it that way too. So anything can happen in this tournament. It's not over because Game Freak and Smix are together. You know, I think it depends on this. There's four other members that are going to be on that team. So, but it should be interesting to see. And you know, I look forward to seeing what the EU-AUS side can do to, obviously, the favorites right now is that particular team. But let's see what they got, man. I mean, I'm kind of skeptical until I see how that team fills out. But two really great players, and definitely the favorites on that side of the pond right now.
If you put it in perspective, and I don't know if other people have noticed this, I'm sure you have, but if you're on a team, a Crucible team, with a great player or a couple of great players, right? They take all the kills, which means the other 4 players or 3 players in your team, their KDs significantly drop. That's going to be crucial when it comes to a tie. You're going to need the other players in your team picking up the slack in terms of getting PvP points. Mm-hmm. And if it's only, say for example, Smix and Game Freak getting the points per round, say they go on a 9-game win streak, they get 18 points. The other team they're up against could have had the 9 games as well, but they would have had more players get the PvP points. So generally, if you're wanting PvP points, you're better to be in a team of players that are at your ability and not above. Because I've noticed that when Doc Connors comes in or Smix comes in or a part of the runs, your KD drops if you can't keep up with them, and most people can't. Your KD drops, they take the kills and things like that, and they push on with it. Your KD automatically drops. I don't know if other people have noticed that in the stream, the viewers might feel the same, but your KD will drop if you're in a team like that because they push ahead. So in terms of overall PvP points, that could be interesting if it comes to a tie. And that's Val's time up, by the way, Mr. Bizzle?
Val's time up. I have no messages from Val. I don't think she's on. So we're gonna auto draft for her, and let's see who turns up. So Val's auto draft is
TV Bizzle.
Nipper Hell. Nipper, you are with Ray and Val. So Nipper has been drafted with. That's another good PvP player. Let's get into the dissection here after the dissection of Icicle here. I know Icicle, you've already said what you thought about the Mysterio team, but I want to get Conage's and Shadow's partake on that. But beforehand, we got another team to draft over there on the UAS side, don't we, Mr. Shadow?
Yeah, we certainly do. Just hang on, I'm splitting up who's been picked and who's not. Bear with me.
Nipper has responded with an "Oh yeah."
It's gonna be a good team.
Any questions while we're waiting, Cole, before Shadow pulls out of this hat? Shadow's ready. Oh, we're ready here. Oh, here we go.
Okay, give me the countdown. Get behind in this
3, 2, 1.
Here we go, and we have Rockstar.
Oh, Rockstar, you are on the clock. Your boy from New Zealand has just been drafted. What do you do? What does Rockstar do with this pick? So let's see if he's online here. Anybody have any?
He might not be awake.
He's actually on the stream right now. He's
on the stream.
He's awake.
Your 5 minutes starts, Rockstar.
Your 5 minutes starts right now. Get in on this. If you can get online, instead of announcing it on the feed, we want it announced on the mics. So Rockstar, please. Oh, he's already announced it. So we have it. Dr. Konesh has been picked.
Oh God, this is gonna be good.
So
this is gonna be good.
You goddamn.
Doc Konesh. Against Smix and Game Freak.
Oh wow. Dr. Konesh and Mr. Rockstar. How about that? Alright, so let's get, we're kind of backed up here, but we're getting picks in real quick, which is great. So, we got another pick here, which is on the NA side. Can I get a drum roll, please? Alright, so the next person to pick is... already been drafted. Here we go, let's keep going! Bloop, 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 bloop. It was you. It was you, Cole, so, but, you've already been drafted.
That's okay, I would have picked Val anyways.
Next person to draft is... drumroll, please, as I open up this little piece of paper. Stevie Bizzle! Oh, boy! Oh, I got my pick of the litter here. Who should I pick? Well, I've been rolling with this guy for a while. And we actually just got out of a Trials of Osiris run. So my pick would be the epitome of Singapore, Mr. Funky Brave. Funky Brave,
yes,
welcome
I like Funky.
to the Bizzle team.
See if we can get him in. I'll look if he's on.
Oh, no.
That is a good team. Good team. I like that.
It's gonna be interesting, that.
He is not online, so we can't get his thoughts. I don't know if he's on the stream, but yeah, it's a very, very good team. Oh, I'm liking the matchup so far. Love it.
Alrighty, so we got 3 teams on the NA side. We have 3 teams on the EUAUS side. Let's get a recap for those late joiners who joined the overall feed here late. So, Shadow, let's give a rundown of the first 3 teams we have on the board so far.
Okay, I hand you over to Cole. I did not write them down.
Cole, who do we got on the EUAUS side?
We have Lakotas and Squid as the first team. So that's fun. Then we got...
Jesus, Cole. Jesus.
So that's fun.
That's fun. So we also have
It's gonna be a
Game
great
Freak
team.
Oh yeah. We got Game Freak and Smix, which, you know, we might as well all just go home now and have cake. That's the next team. Then Rockstar and Doc, which we just had. For the US side, we have Rey Mysterio and myself, so that'll be fun.
Dark Horse.
Try not to show my excitement. And then we have Ray and Val and Nipper Hell. And we got you, Stevie, and Funky Brave, so this will be interesting.
Alrighty, so we are almost there. We have one last team for the first ever Allegiance draft special here on the EUAUS side. Let's get a pick, Shadow. Let's get that last name out of the hat and see who is picked.
We have Mr. Legal.
Legal. He is a seagull with a lay on his overall neck. So let's get him in the chat here and see what his official pick would be, because we want to hear it on the mic. We don't want to hear it in the little Twitch chat. So let's make sure that we get it in the game.
He is online. He's had his invite. So let's see him. His 5 minutes starts now.
Right.
Come on,
meow! Come on, Legal. Get your ass in here, Legal.
Come in and pick a name.
All you gotta do is pick, Legal. That's all you gotta do. Just a quick pick.
Don't you worry.
Oh man, so.
Come on, Legal.
He's
not on a game or anything. He's just actually on his PSN. So
because he's watching the feed.
Watching the Twitch stream.
Yeah, he's watching the Twitch stream. There, Legal. How are you,
Mr. Legal?
Legal. How are you, man? How are you enjoying the Allegiance's draft special so far?
Yeah, it's very good. Just got woken up with that shout though.
Oh.
Oh my word, yeah.
Mr. Legal, as you've been watching the stream, you've seen the teams. Anything you want to say about the teams that have been drafted out so far? Anything caught your eye?
Other than hearing Rockstar's heart break from here when Smix got picked, it was some great teams there. Actually, yeah, a few surprises, and I did actually want to join Squidge and Lakodis' team, but well, that's out the window now.
So basically what we're saying is Doc Carnage is getting sloppy seconds. He is sloppy seconds.
Oh damn!
That's how I feel most of the time.
He is sloppy seconds. Okay. So, Mr. Legal, who is your pick?
Tricky one. I think probably going to have to go for our EUAUS leader, yourself, Shadow.
Shadow has been drafted, so Shadow's officially. I could have really saw that coming. I don't know if that was inevitable, but
some William Wallace spirit in there.
Yeah, we do. We need some, especially when we're up against Kodaj, Rockstar, and Game Freak, and Smix. Oh my god! But yeah, absolutely delighted, Mr. Legal. Pleasure to be a part of that team. Love it. My very good friend, Mr. Legal. Happy days. Love it.
Happy days. All right.
Any thoughts on that, Mr. Bizzle?
It's a good team. You know, I think it's a good, solid team. You know, Legal, the Shadow. Like I said, I was expecting that when Legal came in, so I was preparing to think how that team would run. I think there's going to be a gravitation to this team, just with. Yeah, you guys have been in the clan forever, you know, so it's there's going to be a gravitational pull to that team, or Lakodis' and Squidge's team as well. A lot of people know them, so it should be interesting to see how your team fills out, but definitely someone who can compete over there. It should be, I like personally how these teams are playing out myself. It should be very competitive, which is cool.
Yeah. Mr. Konaj?
I was going to say, I'm quite surprised that I was quite surprised that Rockstar picked me just purely from time zone. I thought he would have gone for like Jacob or someone like that. But the fact that he's gone for me makes it just proves to me that this is going to be very competitive. And Shadow, I probably would have picked you if it had been my name coming out the hat. So it's going to be quite interesting because I think you and Legal do make a very good team when put together. you're a very formidable force, and not enough people talk about you two because you're good, very good in Crucible.
We can do okay. We can do okay. Thank you very much for the kind. Fuck off. Thank you very much for the kind words, Mr. Cole. Mr. Cole, Mrs. Cole.
Wow. Apparently got a sex change. That's cool. But you know what? That just means I have more balls than any of you. So.
Damn! Wow! Holy crap!
So your thoughts on the team, Miss Cole?
So, wow, I can't wait to see you and Lego just tear it up. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I mean, I played with you, Shadow, a couple times, and you're just hysterical. I mean, it's just great. So, there's definitely humor factor there, but I can't wait to see how you go against Smix and Doc. I mean, shit, that's going to be fun.
We're going to put them off our game. We're going to put them off our game. We're going to put them clean off our game.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Just wait and see it. Let's wait and see it. It's all good. It's all
Dirty
good.
tactics.
I'm so hoping there's going to be a 1v1, just your team versus our team. It would be perfect.
Oh god.
All right.
You got that log switcher. You got that log switcher ready.
It's
He will win.
should be
He
here
will
by the
win
time the
the
tournament
switch.
starts.
Yeah,
Pathetic.
nice. We've got a sword.
Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for the
I've
last pick?
stolen Smix's one anyway.
Are you guys ready for the last pick on the NA side? Are you ready? We got one team to go.
Us, Mr. Legal.
No problem.
See you, Legal.
All right.
Take care, dude.
Here we go.
Go, Mr. Bizzle. Go, Mr. Bizzle.
Here we go. Who's the last person? Opening up this little piece of paper. All right. The last person to pick is good old Magic Hands from Allegiance NA Central.
Nice.
So, Magic Hands, if you are out there, if you are watching, if you are online, please get Magic.
He is not
Yeah,
online.
make some magic.
Not online. This team's about to make some magic. How about that? Ooh, I like that.
It's going to be interesting to see who's going to be paired with him.
Let's get a message out there on the Allegiance feed, Twitch feed there. Magic, if you are out there, please give us your pick. Meanwhile, I will send out the message. Yeah, so while we're waiting for good old Magic to come on in, so far, what teams have we not talked about? Shadow, I haven't heard your. Actually, you did say something about this team, Rey Mysterio and Cole. Yeah, Konaj, did you say anything about this one? What do you think about?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, what do you think about Rey Mysterio and Icicole's team moving into the tournament?
That's going to be very interesting. I haven't had a chance to play with Rey, unfortunately, the Grand Mysterio. But no, I think it could be very good. I mean, usually when Cole's with me, she's not quite got the same KD as I do. I mean, there is a noticeable difference. But,
wow.
But it'll be interesting to see, I reckon. It's interesting to see what Rey's done.
Down and spunked your bottom.
Well, you know, if he's gonna do that, at least know what the safe word is. Shit.
Jesus. Oh
No,
my word.
really.
No, just too far, Cole. Come on, keep it PG. PG.
No. Nope. I told
no,
the
but
warning label.
I'm looking forward to it. Just stop. It's too much. No, I reckon they could be good. Cole said she got a 12 KD once, so we'll see that she only gets 2. It's best.
Cool. So we already got the thought processes on Mr. Smix, Konaj, and Rockstar. Actually, Shadow, did you say anything about Konaj and Rockstar's team?
Yes, I did.
Look at that. That was the first thing you said.
After I was matching them up against Game Freak Smith.
Got it. I got it.
As two friends against each other, that type of stuff. So
yeah. Right. Gotcha. Anybody else have any thoughts on Konaj and Rockstar's team? Cole, you got anything to say after Konaj basically threw you under the bus?
And this thing, I was actually gonna say, to watch out, because Doc is a really good player. I mean, it's just like damn, he just makes me step up my game. But you know what? No, he doesn't get all those nice words because he's not nice.
Good.
So.
I don't want him. I'm not that good.
Good.
I know I could be better.
Shut your face. Yes, you are. Shut your face.
Admit it.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
No.
Shut your face, bitch.
I have spoken.
He's gonna have to make me in the crucible.
Oh man. All right, and the next team that we want to talk about here is Ray and Val and Nipper Hell. We haven't heard much about this team. We haven't talked about it at all. So Nipper and Ray and Val's team. Shadow, what are your thoughts on that?
I really like Val. I think she's a lovely person. The times that I've been online, she's been fantastic. I've not seen her in PvP, I don't think. No, I have actually. Last Iron Banner run I was in with her. She can hold her own. From what I saw, she can definitely hold her own. Good communicator as well. And Nipper, I've run trials with Nipper. I've run a few PvP games with Nipper as well. He is a very, very good player. He knows his way around the maps. So those two together, I think, could bring each other on quite well. I'll just be interested to see who signs up for that team. I don't know if they're both in the same time zone or not. But yeah, really excited for them. Two great people, so I really wish them all the best as well.
Awesome. Cole, what do you think about this team?
So, I played with Val a lot in Crucible. Like, I'm excited when she jumps in the team because it's so much fun. But I think it's a great team up because, you know, I've ran with Nipper too, and they're both just fantastic players. I mean, they're right up there. And I think it's really going to be fun to watch Val because I think it was Smix, her, and I that did Rumble one night, and she just whooped me on her Warlock. I mean, I'd kill her, she'd go down, she'd self-res, and I'd be screaming my head up like, oh god, no, Val, don't do it! But it should be fun.
Awesome. And Konaj, what's your thoughts on Nipper and Ray and Val's team?
I reckon they could be another dark horse, though. I do. I reckon they could be a really good team when they work together. I reckon they could be another Rey Mysterio and Isaac Hole team. I really do, because I think they're both pretty good PvP players. I mean, I haven't probably played as much as, with them as maybe Cole has, but whenever I play with them, yeah, definitely can hold their own.
Awesome. All right, and before we give Magic a little bit more time here, we'll give him another 2 minutes. Last team to dissect is, of course, yours truly and Funky Braves. Shadow, what's your thoughts on this team?
Who? Me?
No, me and Funky Braves.
Yeah, do you want my thoughts or?
Yeah, I want your thoughts, Shadow.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, in my opinion, I'm just putting it out there, and I'm not just trying to disrespect people, but in my opinion, that's the strongest team. NA side, I've played a lot with Funky, even when he was a member, and we were recommending him to become an admin. He was showing all the right qualities. His PvP skills was very good. He's always looking to run the higher level games in Destiny in terms of PoE 35s, trials, always looking for the flawless run. So I really enjoy playing with Funky. He's a really strong, solid player, but what he is his biggest attribute is his ability to work in a team. He's not like one-sided or will go his own way. He'll always adapt to do what's best for the team. That brings me on to yourself, Mr. Bizzle. And I'm not going to blow sunshine up your behind. However, I do think that perhaps people in this clan don't appreciate your experience in the PvP arena. You are very experienced in the PvP arena. You are a solid, if not very, very good PvP player. So to see you matched with Funky, taking on other teams in the NA, I would say you and Funky would be the team to watch out for, based on both you guys' ability.
Awesome. Cole, what's your thoughts?
You're going down, bitch. You're going down. Just saying it now. You're going down.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see, Cole. I'm going to squash that muffin and burn it to the ground is what I'm going to do.
No, not my muffins. Anything but my muffins. No, but really, I think that's going to be great. I mean, that's going to be, yeah. I'm going to be watching that. Make sure you don't go above me. But hey, it'll be fun.
And Konaj, your thoughts on that team?
I think it's going to be a really good team as well. Both played with both of you in the Crucible and easily do really well, always up there in the top 3. Yeah, can't fault either of you. In fact, I think you'll definitely, as Shadow says, probably be one of the stronger teams on the NA side. And I think your skills will probably complement each other really well to make a formidable team.
Awesome. So, we've gotten everybody's team's feedback. We only have one team left here to draft. Magic's team's up. Time is up. Let's just double check if he's messaged me. I don't think he has. Let me just refresh the screen here. That's a negative. Do we have any posts on there on the Twitch feed there, Cole?
Nope, got nothing.
Alright, so the last team on the NA side. Magic's fellow admin he will be partnered with is xAllegiancex. So xAllegiancex, you will be with xAllegiancex. So that is the final NA team. Overall thoughts on this entire process, Shadow, of just the draft and how it went, and just to the community overall and the reach out. We're currently at 37 viewers, which is the highest we've ever had. Shadow.
Comments do we have?
We have 310.
Yep.
That's pretty good in terms of activity. Probably a recap for me would be, I know the NA side have some good teams in there, but probably the standout for me in the recap of this one would be xMix and Game Freak and Rockstar and .Kona has been paired together. I think it's well known in the community that those are 4 players that are pretty outstanding at PvP, so yeah, that was probably a highlight. I'd like to see how they're going to match up against each other, if they are paired against each other, in terms of how the bracket works out. It's been really good to see 37 viewers, over 300 comments. We've never hit those heights before. This is only our second tournament. We're a clan that's less than a year old, obviously. We're still growing, still trying to get better, and I just think the activity and seeing everybody online and getting involved, although I would have liked to have seen a bit more admins come into the chat, but I understand time zones and things like that. I think we've laid out the rules very clearly. I think if there's any doubt, people need to revisit this Twitch feed. We've answered all the questions we can, all the questions in the Twitch feed, all the questions on the website, all the questions from each other, all the questions from the admins. And undoubtedly there might be some things that come up, but as Stevie said, we can discuss it. So overall, I think it's been a really good show, and I'm really looking forward to the PvP tournament, and I do think there is a dark horse in there somewhere. I just don't know who it's going to be. I think there will be one team who surprise all the others. I don't know if that's going to be on the NA side or the US side. I've just got that feeling. So not delighted with how it's went, and really excited.
We had a dark horse in the last tournament, right, with the Aussies over there with their terrible connection, but they advanced and they made some noise. That was kind of the dark horse of that particular side of the spectrum. So that was nice to see, and I'm sure there's going to be a dark horse on the PvP side on this one. Konesh, final thoughts before you give your final thoughts. Any individuals that still have questions left, please post them on the feed and squeeze them in before we end the show here. So if you have any questions you might be thinking of, brainstorm it now, post it on the Twitch feed. We'll be able to answer them now while we're live, or you can save them for later. It's completely up to you guys. Konesh, final thoughts on the Allegiance first ever draft special, what you liked about it, and just overall how we put it together.
I really like the draft special. I think this is a good way to have made the teams up. It is a lot fairer this way, so no one can really pick each other. It is kind of slightly down to luck, at least. I mean, I know obviously once someone's picked, if they're online, they get the choice, but then again, that just kind of gives you the show of who's going to be in whose team, and it's kind of come out with xMix and Game Freak and me and Rockstar, so that's definitely going to be interesting, because I think the obvious ones were going to be something like xMix and Rockstar and me and Game Freak, so to kind of put, as Shadow said, to put people against each other, to put friends against each other is going to, I think could be really interesting, and it's going to be fun. And definitely the America side is one I'm going to be watching closely, because obviously not being able to get a chance to play with any of those guys, I know that a few of them are quite good, so it's going to be interesting to see how that side pans out as well.
Awesome, awesome. Any questions, Cole, from the guys before I get your final thoughts on this whole process?
Yeah, we actually have two common questions that keep popping up. One is, when will the teams be open for sign-up?
All right, so let me answer that one real quick. So at the end of this feed, guys, I will begin working on the tournament branches. I'm going to have to talk to Shadow, too, to see what he saw relative to how to placing the NAs and the EU-AUSs in particular areas to make sure that those brackets are filled. So he's probably going to be with me with that. But as soon as this Twitch ends and this kickoff show ends, I'll be right on work as far as putting those teams up. Once it's up, you'll see it on the front of the web page. You'll see a little link to click on, and you'll be open to picking the teams that you'd like to sign up for. So.
Okay. The next question we have is kind of threefold. For one, people want to know if it's first come, first serve for the teams, if the admins are just going to pick and choose who they want, or if people can sign up and then the admins choose from that pot.
Okay, so it's first come, first serve. So it's like signing up for an event is also the tournament way. So you're going to see all 8 teams that are going to be posted up. So you'll see Shadow and Legal's team. You'll see Konaj and Rockstar's team. You'll see myself's and so-and-so's. You pick whichever one you have. There'll be 4 open slots. The first 4 slots to fill up. That means that team is full. So it's first come, first serve.
Awesome.
All right.
The admins, obviously, just to clarify on that one, admins can't. Yes, admins can go and speak to members, but admins can't decide who's in their team or who stays on or who stays off. If you signed up for that team and you're in that first 4 of members in that team, you're in that team. Nobody can take your place unless you step aside. Obviously, the admins will get together and speak to you about how the team's going to run and when they're going to do their run and if they're doing training or whatever else they want to do. And you need to decide if you're going to be a part of that or whether you want to step aside. But once you're in that team and you're signed up, your spot is secure.
Oh, I forgot to do this too. We didn't go over Magic and Kayson's team. Let's get some feedback on those guys, before we leave. My God, I mean, poor guys. I forgot to talk. Shadow, what's your thoughts on Magic and Kayson's team on the NA side?
I can't really speak about Kayson too much. I don't think I've ever played with him either PvP or PvE. I know he's a relatively new admin, so looking forward to seeing how he gets on. Magic, on the other hand, I have had some PvP with him and some PvE. Magic's one of these players that I think has improved since his time in Allegiance. I know when he first came in, he was probably a bit like myself in terms of PvP, in terms of trying to get the swing of it and things like that, and I know he's been hammering it. As I have over the last few months, and he's definitely improved. So I think, like you say, with people being around a long time, Magic's one of those. I think there might be a certain member pool that go towards that team, and I think if we can get in some strong members onto that team, they'll be a force to be reckoned with, I think.
Awesome, awesome. Cole, what's your thoughts on Magic and Kayson?
I've actually played with both quite often. Not to say it in a bad way, but Magic is a great supportive role. I mean, he's great at sticking to the back and, not sniping, but like taking out from afar, which is really going to take, that's going to be a great dynamic, because Kayson's a little bit more upfront. He'll just like get right in your face and break your nose and then laugh about it. I mean, it's going to be awesome. And I'm actually pretty excited about seeing those boys go at it. So
great.
That's going to be fun.
And Konaj, what's your thoughts on this final NA team that we picked here?
Yeah, I mean, same kind of thing as well. I mean, I haven't seen Kayson in PvP personally, or if I did, I can't really remember too many of the matches. But Magic, definitely the same thing as Shadow in terms of the fact that, Magic's improved in it with his time within Allegiance, and I've played with him quite a few times, and yeah, it's going to be an interesting team. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing them in the tournament as well. I think the draft has made some very interesting teams that I'm not really sure to say whether they're going to be really good or not at all, because it's just not really knowing the matchup too much.
Yeah, the parity's been pretty good overall, I think, on the tournament. You know, it's really put together some interesting teams at the random of a hat. You know, so it's been quite an interesting experience. Let's. Do we have any other questions here, Cole? Before I make my final thoughts here and we split.
We do have one suggestion. People want to know when the teams will be able, to sign up for the teams. That way, people are aligned right when it drops. Don't get the advantage. People actually want to know in advance. That way, they can sit there and be ready.
Okay, so basically what I'm looking to do here is we're looking to probably end this Allegiance kickoff show in the next few minutes here. As soon as this ends, I'm looking to get the actual tournament bracket up by 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. 8 p.m. Eastern is when it's up. For guys that are still on, you want to stay and get your first dibs on the team that you want to pick. That's when it's going to open up, and then you'll go from there. So, some guys across the pond, it might be late for them, but hey, if you want to get your first come, first serve, it should be open within the hour. So just stay tuned and keep an eye out on the website. There was another question there, Cole? Or was that basically 1 hour from now? 1 hour from this, or any time in between that hour, just at the latest, that will open up by 8 o'clock. It won't be any longer than 8 o'clock. It could be sooner than 8 o'clock. Me and Shadow just got to talk a little bit about how to structure it to make sure it falls into place the way we want it to. That it's just a matter of me putting in the information, putting it on the front of the page, and boom, it's up for signups.
I'll just go over one last thing, just for everyone's awareness. The admins that weren't drafted today, or weren't picked today, that still are going to be active in the tournament, they can sign up for the teams as well. So just so people know that. I know that it's going to be first come, first served, and there's 8 teams, etc. And we've only got a certain amount of spaces, so if the admins want in and members want in, that type of thing, you need to be making sure that you're signing up for the tournament as soon as it drops. So I know people will be asking where the rest of the admins are, but we have a lot of holidays, a lot of people that can't make it, so we've had to reduce the size slightly. So the admins that have not been drafted this evening are entitled to pick whichever team they would like to go on, just to make that clear. And also, again, just to go over the rules, have a look at this feed if you're unsure any rules. Once you sign up for a team, please direct all your questions to the admins. If they think it's if they can't answer it or deem it appropriate, they'll pass that the line to myself or Stevie, and we can give them the answers from there. But I think the rules have been set out pretty clear. We're pretty rigid this time, so let's just make it a good run and kick it off from there.
Yeah, and also just an open thing too for any admins that have not been drafted today. You will be on call if someone does drop out of one team, so just be aware of that. I know there were some issues in the last tournament for administrators filling in the roles of other people that couldn't attend. You guys are on call if one admin falls out of one team, so you could be set into that. So we have 2 admins per team. So just a heads up to any admins that are currently admins or any admins from this point on to August that might get promoted into that position. So I just want to make sure that people are clear on that as well, as it did create some issues in last tournament. So they will be on call. That's administrative duties that these guys take on. So Cole, you never gave us your final thoughts on this whole process. What do you think about the draft special there, girly?
I love it. I mean, this is actually my first Allegiance event, and I think it's going to be fantastic. It's just going to be so much fun to watch the feed. It's going to be great to see who pummels who and just, rips off people's faces and hangs it on their wall. It's a trophy, but hey, this is going to be great. I think it's fun.
Great.
I'm excited.
That's awesome. Perfect. Very graphic, but overall very awesome. All right, perfect. Any questions here before I give my final thoughts, Cole?
Not that I see.
Awesome.
No, we're good.
Cool. Well, let me give you guys my final thoughts on this. It's currently, July 12th, 2015 here. We're currently at about, after a clean out of ANA Central, we're at about 340 members to date today. Allegiance Australia, hint, hint, is right around the corner, as well as possibly a UK expansion from what I'm seeing as far as the numbers are concerned. We are growing and continue to grow at a time where Destiny gets hot and then cold and then hot again. Our numbers stay consistent, so I appreciate all the members here attending this Twitch today. This event is to get more eyeballs on this wonderful community. Please spread the word. If you see guys that you play with that don't have Allegiance tags, get them into our community. We're just here to help. I appreciate everyone here today. I think this was a great success, killing our overall total record for 37 viewers and 332 comments at the end of this. Which is pretty insane. Shadow was here for the first ever. Shadow's seen this growth as well. I'm sure he can echo what I'm saying here. So we appreciate everything you guys do here. Let's make this an awesome, competitive, but also friendly tournament, because as you all know, one of the main components of Allegiance is loyalty is everything. So with that, I exit this feed. I appreciate everyone here today. Cole, Konaz, Shadow, thank you for joining, and any admin that was on this feed. And guys, let's kick off this tournament. Thanks, everyone.